Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. And I'm your host, of course, Captivating Christian. And you guys are my co host for the evening. It's always great to see you guys. Hey, what's going on? Patty Duke, of course, always great to see you. And what's going on, Brother Nate? What is going on? Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Um, and yeah, don't mind me. I had a whole bunch of technical issues trying to get these things to load, but the last video would not load, being quite stubborn. So just bear with me, but it'll still be a good show regardless. As always. So what is there not to talk about in this day and age? We have reached the month of June, this being June 1st. And of course, I'll save that for later because this is a more historical moment for us, knowing that this is the day that commemorates the massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma, otherwise known as the Black Wall Street. It was 100 years today. I'll play the video. And of course, I'll tell you my thoughts later. That's coconut oil for those of you who are asking what that is. That's definitely coconut oil. Yeah, I will share the video and we'll talk about it after the video because I have some words to share on this. But anyway, here we go.
On June 1st, 1921, 9-year-old Eldoris Makondichi was awakened by her mother. What her mother said next, she never forgot.
She says, we have to go out, get out. She says, the white people are killing the colored people.
Eldoris grew up in the Greenwood area of Tulsa, a buoyant, bustling community of some 10,000 African Americans. There were schools, churches, stores, theaters, and a hospital.
Something happens in an elevator in an office building in downtown Tulsa between a 19-year-old shoe shiner who's African American named Dick Rowland and a 17-year-old white elevator operator named Sarah Page.
A scream from Page leads to Rowland's arrest the next day. By that evening, a lynch mob gathered outside the courthouse where Rowland was jailed. And a group of Black World War I veterans show up to help the sheriff defend Rowland. They're turned away.
As they are leaving, an elderly white man went up to a tall black vet and said, "Where are you going with that gun?" A tussle ensues, a shot goes off, and the massacre begins.
Okay. Like I said, this commemorates the 100th year of this massacre. Hey Shay, how you doing? And of course, I am dismayed that it's 100 years and no government, not state government, not local government, not federal government, have done anything in regards to this killing, murdering of people. We ain't even going to go with black people, white people, whatever. The killing of people for no reason, and this is why I don't agree with Vice President Kamala Harris saying things like, this is not a racist country. Because there's evidence all over the place of how racist and disgusting this country can be. And yet when we sit here and try to deny what is plainly in our faces, we're the ones that get got. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. I mean, God has spared this woman to live 107 years to testify, not once, not twice, but I'm sure about 3 times to a commission just asking for reparations for the massacre that she was a part of, not that her, her descendants were a part of, that she herself was involved in, and being 7 years old at the time, is ridiculous. We have a president who, for all of his trying, doesn't get it. To me, I think that's ridiculous. I find it funny how there is this, we won't talk about reparations or how it's going to be given to others, but we can kind of try to wash away the destructive history that these people have done. I mean, I don't get it. It's clear, like it's January 6th, like it is clearly January 6th all over again, and it's on the lines of they can commit acts, but no one is allowed to bring them up and hold them accountable to those acts. Not even a nation themselves will be able to, or is able to, say, you know what, we did do that. We did assassinate many of your leaders. We did bring you guys over here, not of your free will. And we did a lot of these things. And the only thing we can do is say sorry. And you know what they actually did was give these people, like I said, the local government didn't do anything in Tulsa. The only thing the local government actually did was say that they were sorry and gave them gold medals. And let's be clear, those European Jewish people who happened to, whose families were destroyed by the filmed Holocaust or massacre, they receive a check every month from the German government for a couple of $100 or so every month. The lady showed it on TV the other day that her grandmother still gets a check from the German government for the Holocaust and concentration camps and the death that, the level of death that she's occurred because most of her family died in concentration camps and all that. She was able to, and still is able to, receive payment for that. And I'm sure this payment that over the years, getting a job or doing something else, she was able to take some of that money, save it, give it to her children, and, so on and so forth. So, I mean, it's ridiculous how we can't give people their just due for all of this stuff that is going on. It blows my mind. And then to have, are you ready? Just let me know when you're ready. Just give me a thumbs up. So then we have our Congress people. I'm all for my black folks, but sometimes they irritate me, and they irritate me for this very reason. Why do we have to shuck and drive and dance when it's something that is serious to us, almost downplaying the...
Oh man, that's sad.
Huh?
Oh no.
Oh.
I'm looking. That's still. I was like, I thought I changed that.
Just downplaying. Let's see if I can change it. I can change it. Just downplaying the level of what actually occurred. Like I get it, but I don't get it. Like I'm not here for it. We always seem to downplay that. I'm sorry, but I didn't see when they just signed that hate crime bill, I didn't see any Asian people out in the street doing whatever kind of Asian native dance is familiar to them. I didn't see any of that. You know what I'm saying? So we always got to be the ones to like do the hooping and the hollering and be joyful. Why? Because he came down there to say a speech, but he didn't come with no check in hand to go, here you go for, you and your descendants for what we've done, for what this government, this country allowed to happen to you. From what? Again, almost looking like, well, did gosh, I was just thinking about the boy. Gosh, what is it? I can't think of it. Emmett Till. Did Emmett Till's family receive any reparations because of the lie that was told about him that caused his death? I mean, it's almost like we go, oops, sorry, and pat you back and keep it moving. The same as they're doing with this Capitol bullshit. Like, oh, we don't really want to charge anybody. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? If it's a federal building and they went in there, broken it, and it wasn't supposed to be open and stole stuff, why not?
Oh, if it was the folk that rolled up in there.
If it was the folk, they'd been dead. Period. And we know it.
But the one thing I've noticed is that everybody else benefits from what we do except us.
Right. Yeah, it's always a thing to make sure you keep, excuse the pun, but their knee on our necks, and everybody else can do the same thing and kind of get away with it, or it's okay, or we'll just look the other way. But these people are ridiculous. Like I am just, I don't know. I'm just like, so I'm fed. Both sides, I'm fed up. Like I am just like, I was looking at that like, really, of all the things, I get the African drums being played and all that, but all that shucking and jiving that they were doing, there are bodies in cemeteries, in mass graves that you're digging up right now, and we want to shuck and jive? Like, I really just like, come on. Like, when are we going to stop? When are we going to stop playing Chicken George and doing all this kind of stuff and getting the same result? Well, we don't want to talk about reparation because then we got to talk about who's going to get it, because you'll rather give it to the cities than give it to the people. And then you can say, well, we gave all this money for you guys to go to school. The school's not going to accept somebody with a criminal record. So that knocks off a couple hundreds of people. So then the school gets to still pocket whatever money you're giving them to accept all these people to go into these schools and learn a trade. Come on, like, stop playing the game already. You're either going to give the money up or you're not. Him going down there meant absolutely nothing if he wasn't going down there with a check to give to that 107-year-old lady, her brother, and whatever other descendants are there, and then say, now, when you happen to go, it will still, the money will still go to your descendants.
To your descendants. And they can't say that they cannot give any reparations. As we've seen from last year, they can pull money from anywhere that they want to.
They put money from anywhere they want to, and they know they can. Because you know where they pulling it from? They pulling it from you anyway.
Anyway.
They're pulling it from you anyway. That was nothing but them going into your savings account and going, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
And then try to make you feel bad about it.
Yeah,
trying to rush you.
Oh my God!
Rush all these people back to work.
They're not going to go to work if they just get free money. It's not free. It's there.
It's not free.
So how are they not? I mean, anybody that has worked, I don't care if you work 2 hours, that money's yours.
They're totally out of touch, and they've always have been.
Right, because when you're
born, call them like they are. Damn thieves.
Yeah. They're Miracle Whip. I'm telling you, they're Miracle Whip. Some and not all of them are bad, because not all of them are bad. But some of them mofos, you gotta check the expiration. I'm telling you, some of them you gotta check.
Yeah.
It's spoiled,
There's a shelf life. There is a shelf life. Seriously, there's a shelf life.
So it's real disgusting. And then, like, to hear, and I know I've said this tons of times, but to hear our own people talk about this is not a racist country. Bullshit. God is the only reason why that woman is alive for 107 years to finally tell her story yet again. And people will go, wow, that really happened? White people did that? White people use farming planes, their regular farming planes that they dust their crops with, put bombs on them or pipe the little...
turpentine, some type of turpentine bomb, I guess, to light the buildings.
Yeah, and drop them on the people. Like, this was not something happened. We don't really know what happened. We know what happened. Another lily white lie happened.
And that wasn't the only town. They're over 25.
Right. We're only talking about this one because it just happens to be the anniversary of this one. It was over 25 during that time. Like, they were just having a field day. So I really don't understand, like, why do we even sit here and we talking about, this man was talking about a commercial. I said, come on, Joe. We're not going to sit here and talk about a commercial knowing good and well that the commercial just means what it means. I mean, the commercials go with the trend. And right now the trend is we're inclusive. We're not hateful. So of course you're going to see mixed race couples in commercials. You're going to see same sex in commercials because we're trying to drive home that this is a nation of inclusiveness and all this other. Well, if we're so inclusive, give the people their goddamn money. That's all. I was like,
like I said, they can cash app it to me.
Yeah, right.
just give the people what they're due.
That's it. Just give them what they're due. I really don't I really don't even get it. We trying to break down the semantics of what? Break it down of what? No one has actually at this point, everybody's kind of intermingled or whatever. But for the simple fact, you did an atrocity. Like, pay the people. Like, I don't even understand why we even having this debate. It's like to give the people a gold medal. A gold medal for what? Because they made it out?
Was it even gold?
That part too, but how disgusting can you be? Again, because you only think of us as, we chase after shiny stuff. We, just give them something.
Yeah,
shiny,
pretty much.
They'll go about their business. But, thank you. So I'm just, I was just a bit like, I'm over it. I was so over that. But anything else you want to add to that? Because I have another one.
Go ahead.
So then, on that note, we have this.
It has taken nearly 6 years of talks, but today Germany is for the first time acknowledging that it committed genocide during its colonial rule in what is now Namibia in southern Africa. German troops massacred tens of thousands of Herero and Nama people between 1904 and 1908. Now, more than 100 years later, it has reached a deal with the government of Namibia on how to atone for the atrocities.
Violently suppressed uprisings by the Nama and Herero ethnic groups and forced them into the desert. Tens of thousands of Herero and Nama were shot, starved, and tortured to death by German troops. It is estimated that 3/4 of the Herero and half of the Nama people were wiped out. It took an entire century for a German politician to even recognize it happened.
I ask you to forgive us our trespasses and our guilt.
But the German government of the time backpedaled, saying the minister had spoken as a private person.
The only thing I can say about the German people is although they've done a lot of shit, they can at least pay their folks. They at least pay,
Yeah.
If anybody was gonna make it into heaven, if it was on a sense of atonement, them motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, but you know what? You could say it, but do you actually mean it?
Right, that too.
That's the whole thing.
They got VIP passes. I mean, I was just like, what? Yeah. So they plan to give the government of Namibia about 1 point something billion, $1 million, something like that.
Is that over a 30-year period?
It is over a 30-year period, but the actual there's a rival political party in the country of Namibia who basically said, "Don't give it to the government. Why don't you just give it to the people?" Because they want to give it to the government, because then of course the government can allocate it how they choose, which really is like, okay, so you don't know who they giving the money to. So they're basically trying to figure out how they're going to do that, but just for the simple fact that they are doing something. I mean, at some point, somebody should be doing something. Then that's my whole thing with the Tulsa thing. 100 years should not have gone by without anybody doing absolutely nothing but talking about reparations.
But like I said, they wanted everybody to forget.
Right? Yeah.
That's the whole thing. As long as nobody remembered. But what really brought it up was when they found that where they were doing an excavation in the cemetery, and they think that this is where a mass grave was or is. And there's also a couple of other places around the town.
Right.
They're checking back. Yeah, they're checking back, and from just people hearsay that bodies were there also.
Right. And I'm not, in no way am I giving Germany a pass on even their atoning for their atrocities, because they still have the bodies of Africans in their universities.
Yes.
And all over, and God knows where else. So in no way do they get a pass. But my thing is, we do so much and we give so much to this place here, and we always get our ass to kiss. So I mean, I just really, I'm at a loss to even try to, and then we have our own people sitting talking about, well, this ain't a racist country. How the fuck is it not? I'm sure you get death threats every day.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Patty Duke, the Germans, well, their love of genocide, they got the playbook from the United States. Yeah. They actually got how to exterminate a group of people, a race of people, with the death camps and everything that came from the United States.
That part is very true.
And come to find out,
is not that we like to tell.
And come to find out, you might have heard in the news cycle about the children, the indigenous children up in Canada going to the Indian schools.
Yeah, I read that.
Where do you think they got that from? The United States,
right?
Because the United States also had those schools also that took 95% of the indigenous people and trying to erase their culture.
Right.
And these children were abused and tortured and murdered. Yeah. And they got it right from the US. Shit, man, we right in the belly of the beast.
Right. And then asking the beast for to recognize its torturous ways. I really don't I don't know. I'm so over this.
Well, you'll always be over it because it's just so much shit every time you turn around.
I know, but this was just like, really, they did a whole weekend festivities, from live music to church to all this, to the one important day. The president speaks, y'all get all happy because he says, oh, we need to do something on a collective level. Okay, but he didn't come with no money. There are 3 surviving.
Yeah, people. And but I wish when they went to Congress, they would have said something really smart, like, this makes no goddamn sense. I'm fucking living to 100, 101, 106 years, and you motherfuckers still can't get this shit right.
Right.
What's the problem?
Right.
Instead of having her reading from whatever.
Right.
Let her speak from the heart, or at least give her 5 minutes to speak from the heart and how she really felt.
Right. Because I'm sure she felt this is some bullshit, and she old enough, and she's well beyond her years to say so. This is because it is utter bullshit. She lost, I'm sure, many of her family members.
Yeah,
many of her friends died in that thing that white people now try to do. Really, that happened? Like it didn't.
But it still happened. It happens today. It's just called gentrification.
Right. You're right. I mean, it is. It is. They'll do that. They'll wait for you to, something will happen. They'll put the bricks and stuff in your neighborhood. They'll set stuff on fire because they know good and well what's going to happen. They're not going to rebuild it back up. If they do, you're not going to be able to afford to live there.
Oh, hell no. And even if you own your property, your yearly taxes go up.
That was a whole other thing he talked about too today, talking about and you realize on one side of town, the taxes are one price and the taxes on the other side of town are much higher.
Yeah.
Who didn't know that? Did you just discover that while you was on Air Force One? Is that what happened? You're not from Delaware necessarily, but I'm sure he's been to Wilmington.
Oh, yeah.
It's like night and day.
That's why I tell you, politicians need a term limit. They should not be able to make this a career.
Not right.
At this level. Because they're so out of touch, it's ridiculous.
Right. It's like you have no idea. You don't know what real life is like. You may have in the beginning, of course you did, but it has changed so much.
Well, no, because they got a helping hand. Nepotism. No, that works.
Well, that
who you know and who you blow get you in high places.
Well, I guess you got to blow it good enough because Monica Lewinsky ain't go far.
No, that's because she was stupid. She did young girl stuff. She talked about it with a girlfriend. That's what it was. You keep it to yourself.
Yeah, that part is true.
Hey, Lynn T, crackhead Willie.
Hey, crackhead Willie, what's going on? Hey, Lynn T. Yeah, but that was just crazy to me. But maybe the United States will feel some type of way that Germany is actually doing something, and maybe they'll turn.
No, it won't. It won't.
I know. That's just.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll let you have your moment of bliss.
Thank you. Try to destroy my hopes and dreams. Here we have another one. Gosh. And this is your fault because I didn't know. I remember the story, but more details are now spilling out about this. So then I was just like, yeah, this is your fault. So yeah.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did.
Now, with the shocking cover-up of the police killing of Marcus Smith in North Carolina. It was September 8th, 2018, when Smith, a 38-year-old homeless black man facing a mental health crisis, asked Greensboro police officers for help. He approached them and asked them to help him. Instead, they brutally and fatally hogtied him. Police body camera and dashboard camera video footage shows officers pushing Smith face down into the street and tying a belt around his ankles, then attaching it to his cuffed hands so tightly his knees were lifted off the pavement. This is part of the video footage.
What's your name, partner? What's your name?
Man, there you go. I'm Marcus.
I know.
My name Marcus.
Okay.
Please, sir.
All right, just
please.
No, go ahead and grab a seat.
Help me, man.
Just grab a seat.
Call the ambulance.
Just grab a seat.
Call the ambulance, bro.
Just take it easy. We're not trying to hurt you. Take it easy.
We're not trying to hurt you.
We're trying to hurt you.
Come on, bud. Come on, roll over on your stomach. Roll him the other way.
Okay, I didn't play all that because I couldn't. Basically, they hog-tied this young man. He wound up dying in police custody, and so the family of this young man is basically suing the police department and the state and the city for wrongful death, somewhere in the millions, because they just feel like he died in police custody and they had something to do with it. I am tired of seeing this. A lot of this stuff goes unheard. And this happened way before George Floyd. So you can imagine the numbers of, I think it was what they, the other article that I was going to show, it was like 200 and something. No, I'm sorry. Was it 32? Was it 32,000? I think they said 32,000, something like that, like 32,000 police killings since two.
Oh, yes.
And I'm just like,
right. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's far more than that. And just like,
well, we always knew that it was more.
Right.
But once you give it a number.
Stories, right. But just like stories like this, kind of mention and they go away. A lot of these stories are not told. So I'm sure since 2000, we're talking, if you're saying 32, I'm sure it's damn near almost 100,000 people. I'm sure. Yeah. You can't even tell me it's not 2,000 and all you got is 32,000 people. Hit the hell out.
If you're not blaming sickle cell.
Right. And that part too. And I thought about that too from last week. That they, now they were teaming up to with the coroner's office, because again, everybody's working together, washing each other's asses. It's not just police, and that's why when it's whole defund the police. Oh, I like police. I don't want to defund it. No, it's the system that needs to be defunded because everybody's protecting everybody. You have the coroner who has no. You work for the goddamn city just like the police officers do. All you do is report what happened with the body. That's it.
Yeah.
The fact that you yourselves take it upon yourself to cover up for the police.
Yeah, everybody's protecting everybody else.
He has sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? Or traits of sickle cell. That's how he wound up dying. Well, I mean, a little bit had to do with what the police did, but most of it came from his sickle cell. Get the hell out of here.
I'm sure he would still be here.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm sure he
his interaction with the police officers
with the failed health care that he probably would have and all that he would still be here. But like that the other particular article that I was trying to load and wouldn't load was talking about the 32,000 cases. They're basically saying that there are cases where the police officers had people in custody and they got a bullet straight in the head and talking about it was a suicide. What? But this is the level. And they're like, they're not even talking about, of course, this was Los Angeles, so they did a lot of brown crime, brown police brutality, which is like, yeah, I get it. But anyways, I like my brown people, but it's some of them that I just can't rock with because they and it's like, come on.
It's like when black people do shit, you know? And it's like, how can you? I just don't.
Yeah, like how can you ride that train? Like really, like, come on.
They ride it hard. That's why.
Yeah. They go hard. We have a coleslaw. What did you say? Coleslaw. Yeah, I mean it's crazy the amount of injustice that goes on. So I was just pretty astonished that the fact that they gave it a number, and I'm like, far many people
more than that,
far more than that that go unreported. And if you're going to really do some investigation and some digging, and when they go, the New York Times has unearthed. No, if the New York Times wants to unearth something, they would have unearthed all the suicides that happened in police custody, like Sandra Bland and others, when they said, they committed suicide. With what? with a plastic garbage bag. Okay. Like,
There's always some fact in a rumor.
I mean,
Always.
it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. The color of law that doesn't have enough teeth. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it really is sad. It really is sad and ridiculous. And it makes me just so crazy to know that here we are still fighting for equality to be seen. To when I look at the civil rights marches and people say I'm holding picket signs saying I'm a man, and the fact that you still have to feel that way in 2021.
Yeah.
When I thought,
nothing's
as a kid,
changed.
I thought 2000 anything, we would be in a totally different space. And
you thought it'd be like the Jetsons?
Yeah, like the Jetsons, and in a different space, even racially in a different space. Maybe not, holding hands and kumbaya, but definitely in a different space where you would know that what you've done. There would be more curriculum in the schools, basically telling the truth and not kind of making this like some Disney, like a Disney movie or Disney storybook where it's like, oh, the white people did this, but look what they did. They made them nice, and look, they fed them good.
Yeah. Well, this is why all those states want to abolish the race theory.
Yeah, right.
First of all, they don't know the definition.
Right.
They just assume. But if you never tell the truth.
Yeah.
About everything that happens.
You said I sound like I did. I mean, I was when I was a kid. I thought like, okay, by the 2000s, it would be totally different. And I wouldn't. None of the stuff that I seen on with Eyes on the Prize or anything like that. I'd never thought that I'd still be seeing that stuff today in my adult life. I really did not. I really was like, oh, that's really bad. Like, oh God.
I thought for about a week that one day, racism would be all done and all the rest of that. But it's like, hell, it's in everything.
Yeah.
From the TV shows, and it's so subtle. From the TV shows that you've watched as a kid, it's in their households because everybody has different conversations.
Right.
While our parents were telling us to watch out for them,
right.
Their parents were telling them how lazy we are and we didn't do anything. It's like, shit. Right. We built this shit. Our people built this shit.
Right. How lazy could we be? We built it for free.
And they never discuss how they massacred the indigenous people.
Right.
Right.
Constantly. But then still parade them and celebrate them. That's the part.
And celebrate them. Yeah.
That's the part.
Well,
it's
like when you go hunting. When you see those hunters and they go out and they win trophies.
And then they put it on the wall.
and they put them on the wall.
But I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like you sit there and you parade people like, Thomas Jefferson, who Chris Big Head, Chris Matthews was on Joy Reid's show today. She took over from him when that scandal broke out. So he was on her show talking about his new book. And he, of course, had nerve to say, well, even with Thomas Jefferson, with his, blemishes, and I'm paraphrasing, with his blemishes, but he gave us the Declaration of Independence. So he raped a little girl. Sally Hemings was his wife's little sister. Again, they put it in a storybook form where she was like this grown woman slave and they had this romantic relationship. She was a little girl. when he first started whatever he was doing with her, she was a little girl. So I just,
well, they could do that because they don't see us as human beings.
right.
You know,
But that's the thing. And moving forward, though, you mean to tell me you can't see that? You can't see how? Well, dang, I get it. Hey, we need to do something about this because this is ridiculous. Look how they were treated. It's like you're like, well, dang, that sucks for you, but look how you got it now. You're so much better, right? Okay, now let's move on. Mind you, all these people are getting reparations just cause. Like I told you about the Jewish lady, she showed her grandmother's social security, like her bank statement, just covering, information. And you clear as day, she circled it. She still gets a paycheck from the German government.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when they sit there and say, oh, we pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. You don't. You have a helping hand somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The GI Bill, big helping hand to all those veterans. They got to go to school for free.
Oh, my father didn't get it. He served in World War II.
Neither did mine. They got to go to school for free. They got homes dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder why they live out in the suburbs because that's where they put those houses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they built them all that.
Built them all out in the suburbs. If you watch them, was it them or they? I think it's them. Them. Where they had you watch the show, it was Compton. Everybody thinks about Compton. You think Bloods, Crips, and all that kind of stuff. No. Back in the day, Compton was very much an affluent white area. Because one, it was close to Hollywood, but it was an affluent white area. And they had the same, like when you see these little cul-de-sacs that they're building up now, all the houses are going up fast, same kind of way they was building up these, rancher style homes. And the people were just coming straight from the army or whatever and going right in.
Going right into those homes.
Right in them. They were able to come home, go to school for free, not pay a damn dime.
And jobs were plentiful. That's because we didn't have war on our soil.
Right.
All the rest of the other countries had to rebuild. So we were making money. You were making money.
That's it.
Hey, Lynn, how old is your son? Yeah, track homes. Yep, and that's exactly what we used to call them, track homes.
Yeah. I didn't know the name of it, but yeah. But we didn't.
They were all like little cookie cutters.
Yeah.
The color may change, and that was pretty much it.
Right. Everybody may have had a different color, but everybody kind of sort of had the same layout,
Mm-hmm.
But, all this stuff that they've gotten to kind of make sure that you say
Oh no, Lynn, you need to tell him now.
Yeah, please do.
You kind of late, girl. You should have told him like at 12 or 13.
Yeah. See, I don't know if it was because my grandmother, she was definitely one of like, she didn't want to talk about it. So most of the stuff that I learned what she had gone through was not necessarily from her. It was watching stuff and then asking her. And then
why do you do that?
Then she would tell me like, oh, that did happen. It was kind of like this, but she was not one to be like, let me tell you, and it was just like, keep your head down and just, don't kind of that kind of attitude. And I was never that way. It was like, no, that worked for you.
Yeah, because you couldn't relate, because that's not what you dealt with on a daily basis.
It's not who I was in general. So it was just like, I can't do that. So me and my mom would kind of always clash in that manner because it'd be like, boy, I can't. So we got to like a common thing to be like, okay, well, listen, if you're going to give people like this in this house that way, every time you step outside your door, you give them that same thing. So I always made sure that I don't care what it was. I mean, I remember one time we were kids, when we first started to go to the movies, by ourselves, my twin sister and I and our friends, and we were going to get changed to get on the bus. And there was a pharmacy, drugstore, and my friend had went in. She went and got changed and came out. And then my sister went in because I let them go first, and then I was going to go last. And as my sister went in, two white boys, and this is like Howard Beach area around that time of the whole Howard Beach thing. And two white boys just go in, same age as us, go in, and I don't see one come out. And they still in there. If I didn't grab my sister out of that store, I was like, listen, nope, I give you change back. We're not even, I don't even want to, nothing. There's nothing I want out of here. Like, this is crazy. I said, the two white kids just walked in here. You didn't make none of them walk out. I didn't see them. No, you saw them. You saw them as clear as day. I was like, no. I remember I must have cursed or something that day because I know they was looking at me like, and I was like, just don't tell. But my sister was like,
don't tell, yeah.
He was a quick
they knew you cursed anyway.
That's fine.
I know mine did. Yeah, he ain't no angel. I know he cursed. He ain't never do it in front of me. So.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It was doing it in front of her. But yeah, that, I mean, and it was stuff like that all the time. So you kind of, it when you see it, and you definitely address it. I mean, I know a lot of times people say, well, do you have to be, kind of mindful of your surroundings and stuff like that. But I don't know. I didn't think like that. I mean, older probably now, but when I was younger, it was like, what? Like,
you're just going to the store.
Yeah, it's just right. It's just going to get changed. And like when I saw it, it was like, okay, I'm sitting there. I'm like 2 seconds. One of the white boys is going to come out because they had book bags and everything. And it's like, it's not a school. This is Saturday. So I'm just like, what the hell? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the kind of game we're playing. No, we're not doing that. Not today.
Oh no, I tell you though. But my parents drilled us all the time. It's too hard enough. The only thing they said was just make sure you get back home and we'll handle it.
Yeah,
get back home.
That was definitely my mother's thing. Like, come home and tell me. Like, don't try to. Yeah, she knew.
My brother was ridiculous. He'd fight at the drop of a hat. He loved that shit. So definitely, she's like, you just make sure you bring your little brother home. Yeah. Don't you do nothing. Don't do nothing stupid. You wait till then come and tell us and let us know what's going on, and we'll handle it.
My mother's famous thing is she would always be like, well, what did you say? I didn't say nothing. What did you say? I didn't say nothing. What did you? I said this and I said that. And I said this.
Mom, I told him to kiss my black ass in the pink part.
But I don't know. I just think we have a lot of self-knowledge to do, a lot of self-exploring to do. I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss for words because it's like you look at one party, you're like, one's trying to take away your vote completely, totally dismiss you out of the whole conversation of ever being able to really vote and have your vote count. And when people say,
wide open. Being wide open about it.
And when people say, I don't vote, my vote don't count anyway, they are pulling out every stop. Every state is doing it. Every state is doing it. And if the state is not doing it because it may be largely Democratic, check your county because your county may be doing it if your county is Republican. So it's just really an onslaught of voting rights that is happening, and everybody's just kind of looking the other way, and it's real sad. And the only thing we can sit here and talk about is infrastructure on the other side of the Democrats. Infrastructure. Who gives a goddamn about a highway or a road?
Well, there's potholes and then the bridge falls down with the school bus on it.
But I mean, and that is tragic. But at the end of the day, who gets the contracts for the construction?
Oh, that's all their friends.
Right. This is what I'm saying. So we sit there talking about,
actually, it'll probably be Mitch McConnell's wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right.
And the Chinese over here doing that,
But that's what I'm saying. We sit up here talking about infrastructure, but who actually gets the benefit even from that?
Yeah.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
But we still left out. So then why can't we have a discussion about something that will actually benefit us first? I'm not in jail. Granted, I would like for the people who are in jail for marijuana, which seems to be a booming business for the Mayonnaise Coalition right now, because they can actually build shops and have it in there. Because that's all the government wanted to do, the same way they done with cigarettes, alcohol, and everything else. Unless
the whole thing is once they figure out how to tax it and make money off of it,
then it's all clear. But then at that point, who is able to then profit from it? Mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've already created a company where they can say, look, it's legit.
Yeah.
Look at here, it's legit. You got the dude.
Plus squeeze out the competition.
Right. Infrastructure. It is important. I know it's important. I know it's important, Linty, but I'm just saying, as far as who gets the contracts to build the bridges and make sure they're sound. Who gets the contract to fill the potholes? Who gets them? Now, if I've seen a lot of my brothers and sisters out in the streets when I'm passing by a construction site, I would feel good, but I don't. I don't.
Yeah. And one black president doesn't do it.
Yeah, right. I actually see more brown people sometimes mixed in with the white, but then I'm looking at them like, are they even paying you like a check, or are you getting like here you go, off the table? When I see a lot of them, I'm just saying. Right. And I mean, and they didn't want to do that, to be honest. They didn't want to do that. Look, was it Harry Reid? He thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Harry Reid presented it as a joke. And they just took it and ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
So then he felt some type of way, so I guess he had to come on board. But initially, he said it to someone in passing as a joke, oh, wouldn't that be great? Ha, 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 ha. And then whoever he said that to wind up getting back to Barack like, hey, you should think about it.
And I suppose he just ran out of spite.
Right, and he might have.
Uh-huh.
And that's the thing too. He might have just ran out of spite because you thought it was a joke. Oh, he thought it was a joke, huh? Okay. For some reason, I just get that from him. Like, oh, you thought it was a joke? Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm. Joke this.
Yeah.
Joke he probably ran and told Michelle.
Right.
And she got pissed.
And she did.
Uh-huh.
And she never really wanted to do it.
I'll have the game plan written up in the morning.
Right.
You need to do this, and this.
Right. And you can only stay for this long. And we out of here.
Because I ain't fucking with this shit.
Yeah, right.
All them damn people. Ain't be bothered with all that foolishness.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying is that, yeah, they're full of contractors. And this is the system.
Mm-hmm.
But we barely have few of us in the system to do anything about it. So that's why I say when the infrastructure conversation comes up, yes, it's important. I'm not saying that it's not, but my whole thing is who gets the contracts. That's where my concern comes from. Because we don't get them. So, no. Yep. But that was all I had for this evening.
That was it?
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Yeah, there was the white lady thing that hit somebody was above, but I couldn't get that to come up either. The white lady that hit hit the teenager.
Was it the one down in Florida?
Yeah.
She hit a 12.
She hit a 12
a black girl, and then she hit. Yeah, and then she hit someone else, and she thought that they were Mexican or Hispanic or whatever, and she got 20 years.
The girl was Hispanic, and the boy was black.
Okay.
Yeah, she looked crazy as a real lizard.
Oh yeah, she was definitely a nut. That was like the woman that you showed last week.
Right.
I saw her picture plastered. It's funny when we read these articles and then a week later they'll pop up on major networks.
Major network.
And I started laughing. Right. I was like, "Oh, this
was it Pat?
She yeah, Pat. She definitely looked insane.
Yeah, Pat ass. Like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
That's them crazy. That's when Miracle Whip goes bad. I'm telling you. Yeah. It does have a shelf life. I'm just saying. Yeah. You mean that dude? What happened? That he showed. What dude? You mean you know about Pat?
About Pat.
Oh, I don't know. But she looked like Pat too a little bit. She just looked extra crazy. But again,
real insane.
Yeah, but what you gonna say? They were protesting because now you can, and I think that's why she did.
Yeah,
it. You can get away with hitting people with.
But luckily, she was stupid and in the wrong state.
You can get away with hitting people with your vehicle in Florida because you think they were protesting, and then you could say you was afraid for your life, as the police always do. So I mean,
Hey man, how can you not talk about the story of the century, man?
What's that?
The women with the bonnets, man.
Ain't nobody stunting that mess. I mean, I'm not the whole bonnet thing.
I see so many people. Look, I don't care if they wear a bonnet.
I really didn't understand the. I mean, I say this. I get it because of her age and her parents and how they raised her. So that part I get because my mom.
Yeah, because you couldn't come out. You couldn't come out the house
looking any type of way because you represent the family. So that part I got. Okay, and I understood that a lot of people do not follow that motif, right? But for you to come up on there, almost like. What did she remind me? And I said it to myself as I was like, she's turning into like Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
That was another thing I wanted to touch on too. His parole thing. I forgot to put it in my notes and then put it on the thing, but and I'll talk about that after this. So she was reminding me of like a Bill Cosby thing where we start talking, pulling out the negatives or making them negatives that our community does to then allow others. It's like YouTube.
The timing's wrong.
Yeah, stop. The timing is wrong. One, and then two, stop. Why do you have to always pull out the negative for other people to then latch on and then go, oh yeah, guys always wear bonnets. So then now the job's gonna be like, listen here, you can't wear a bonnet, and the whole time, homegirl, sister girl been wearing a bonnet or a head wrap at the register talking about something. Can I help you? And now all of a sudden, because Monique,
see what happened is now they'll lump all of that into it.
That's it.
The bonnets are just certain things of the time.
Right. That's it.
Women used to wear scarves on their head. Yeah. If you run into the store, running around the corner, the shit that she should have been concerned about is people walking out here in their damn pajamas.
And your slippers.
And I saw that the first time I saw somebody in their pajamas, they came to work on my job, and I sent their ass home.
Me too.
And because I kept looking at these, it's like, what is this you have on? Because they were Christmas with the little antlers and the Christmas green and shit. And I was like, what is this? Yeah. And it's like, no, you can't walk around here with your ass clapping. You just rolled up because that's what that shit. It looks nasty. For one thing, it looks nasty.
Out of bed.
And this was a white girl.
Yeah, I know.
This was a white girl, and she didn't have no ass to clap.
Hey, listen, it was the same way with me. We used to go to when I worked for this company called Carrie, which was a limousine company years ago. Actually, when I first moved to Maryland, I'd be in the call center, and I was raised on that Monique thing. Like, you go out the house looking presentable. So everybody be at work like, oh my gosh, why are you dressed so nice? You always dress so nice. And I'm just like, because it's work. Because I'm outside. And they would come literally in their pajamas and kind of stuff that looked like they just rolled out of bed.
I've never seen anything like that.
I've never seen it either. But then I started seeing it like, oh yeah, this must be a thing for y'all. Like this is some shit. Like what? And not get reprimanded or anything. But the minute,
and then see that was the crazy part because everybody else they paid it dust.
Yeah,
and I said, oh no, you got to get the hell out of here and put some clothes on.
Yeah. Because the minute it was us or we dressed somewhat, they felt out of line. It was instantly, oh, we need to talk to you. So I just didn't rock with that either. And again, of course, I was called high maintenance or high whatever you want to call it, and I didn't give a damn because high maintenance is to HR, okay, and we'll have a meeting. So you might want to keep your mouth closed. Don't talk too much. This one black lady said, "Oh, they can't stand you. They can't stand you." I said, "They don't have to stand me. I just know what I know." So it's like, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You better put it in paper and you better send somebody with you because we're not even having it. But yeah, they used to do that all the time. And
yeah, that's like the worst. I hate seeing that.
Yeah.
That I hate.
Yeah.
The only time you should be in your night clothes is if you have to pick your kid up from school and it's an emergency.
Or you run into the store to do something too, or whatever. But if you're actually going to work or actually going outside, like you should really not have
all day long. And then I'm like, what do? Jump back in the bed with them dirty ass clothes on?
Dirty ass clothes
stinking ass. Oh no.
Or you walking around your house in the same slippers you were just walking in the street with. But then people get bent. That's what I don't understand about people. They get bent up out of shit about Corona, but you walk around the house in the same slippers that you done went outside with. All over, just went here, went there, and it was like, I'm gonna scoot on that germ right in the house.
In my house, you have to take your shoes off.
Right.
At the door.
Right.
Especially when you have babies and stuff running around because they're all on the floor. And
Lady Tina said the store is outside.
The store is outside.
It is outside. But I mean, I don't think you should do it anyway. Ask my husband. Ooh.
No, I wouldn't have talked to you either.
No.
I wonder why, and that's another thing. If you don't, how you expect to attract somebody? You don't have to be glamorous, but at least be presentable.
Right. And I think that was the thing. I mean, that's why I didn't fully take offense to it because I just felt like the thing was to be presentable, to present yourself in your best light, like carry some pride in yourself because when you present yourself a certain way, it does kind of boost your. That's almost like a guy getting a haircut. When men get haircuts, it's like a whole new I feel good, I look good or whatever. And you should always carry that. You should never, I don't care who see me. You got holes in your shirts and your chest all kind of exposed because there's a big old Swiss cheese hole. You're like, I ain't gonna impress nobody. You never know who you may bump into looking like.
Patty did with it. Yeah, they didn't wash. Yeah, they didn't wash. And ass clapping, it claps real loud.
That means she didn't have on no drawers.
When it's moist.
She wanted to get somebody's attention. She was trying to get somebody's attention. She was like,
have you ever seen supervisor? Have you ever seen the video where the girl goes into this woman that goes into like Walmart's and she'll be clapping her ass? You never seen that?
No. Never seen
and she'll be standing there and she'll have it looks almost like a house, just the material's real thin, and you can hear and she's going. It's just like Walmart, okay? I'm like,
that's what some of them be looking like in them sundresses. I mean, it is.
Yeah. And matter of fact, that's what it was. She had on a sundress because it's like a one-piece type thing, and she's walking down there. And she's walking down the aisle, and you hear.
That's crazy.
No, that's hilarious.
That's a lot of moisture, a lot of heat, a lot of heat from that undercarriage. I think. When T said no.
No. Shit, I couldn't even. When I used to get my hair braided, when I used to get my hair braided, I couldn't go out the neighborhood. She had a stroke. My mother had a stroke after I went out the house.
Oh.
But she said you can go in the neighborhood, but you can't go nowhere else.
Yeah, I would go when my brother's friends couldn't cut my hair or whatever. I would go around the corner to the barber shop in the neighborhood and get my hair cut, and she literally be like, "Go back and get more hair off." I'm like, "It's cut. I saw it fall. It's not enough, So it was just like,
you want it lower.
If you want it lower, you pay to get it lower. You sit in the barbershop with me until he lowers it low enough for you. Until then, I don't want my hair that low. She's like, I want to see your head. I don't. I wouldn't still put your head.
And matter of fact, she used to have a stroke. You sit between the girls' legs to get your hair braided, right? Don't be sitting between no girls' legs. Like, why is she doing my hair? How am I supposed to get up in this chair? I said she wants to sit down. Who wants to stand up? Nobody's doing it. I ain't got time for it. Of course, I ain't know that then. You young, you don't know that. I don't know that then.
Right.
But like, God.
That's good. Nope. She was kind of sort of, when I started to grow my hair, because I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm done with you and everybody else. Because even the church, too, would have a thing about men growing their hair or getting locks. They'd be like, oh, don't do that. That ain't professional. Like, who's to say what's professional?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They were always saying it's not professional. It's not this. It's not that.
It's like, get out of that whole European mindset of what's professional. As long as you keep it neat and together, then it's professional. But I when I decided to do it, and then when it started to grow, she'd be sitting there looking at, is that all your hair? Is it really your hair? I'm like, yes, Mom, it's my hair. I don't just know how you do it. Like, what do you mean? It's hair.
Yeah.
It's grow.
Yeah, because when I had my locks, and they were down to my backside.
Yeah.
And for work, I would wrap it up like you do, and wrap it up to keep it, because I was working around machinery.
Right.
Because you get that shit caught in there, snatch your ass
bald.
Be all tangled up in the machine.
You like that? What is that Chinese lady? What did she do? She did something, and she was doing. I don't know what she was doing, but she put something on a drill. I think she was trying to like curl her hair, but she put an extension of curl on a drill thing, and it snatched.
Did it like snatched it off? Yeah.
The whole shit bald in them.
Well, they would do a lot of stupid shit between burning it out.
Yeah,
because they would hot curl it and had hot curl it, iron too hot, and it would just pop right off. And she just had like a drill or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, it literally snatched it out of her scalp.
Snatched it so hard and so fast, it ain't even bleeding.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was just gone. It was shiny too. It took every follicle with it.
It took future follicles. It was like.
And nowadays she probably wear a bang.
A bang. She wears a bang.
Yeah, Len. The ghetto. It was great. I loved it.
Not the ghetto.
It was the ghetto because the ghetto wasn't the ghetto. I mean, it wasn't the ghetto then.
It's still, what I consider ghetto is not even like,
it wasn't ghetto.
Like, no, I had a yard and a front and a backyard and a fence.
They had a yard in the front and was still in the ghetto in the hood. It wasn't in the slums.
It was right. There were some hood areas.
Slums.
That's what I'm saying. There were some hood areas, but it wasn't like. No. I mean, now some houses you'd be like, "Ooh, could you mow your lawn or do something?" But yeah.
No, the fronts were always kept. If you went in their houses, that was a totally different story.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, at first I didn't understand it. Like when my mom would be like, "Oh, you can go in there."
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Why?" But as I got older, I was like, "I ain't going in there. Gotta do the whole shaky dance, and then I gotta go home and be doing the whole. You better take all your clothes off at the door.
Bed bugs.
Nobody, nothing.
And they weren't even that bad back then.
No,
because they stopped using certain pesticide DDT.
Right.
They stopped using certain pesticides, and now they just rampant now. But I'm like, shit, how the hell you have bed bugs when all your goddamn clothes is in totes? You ever see some people's house? Everything is in totes.
Everything tote. Yeah, everything's in
Look,
tote.
one thing I will have to say, look, these OnlyFans people, you got to get some furniture and stuff.
All that
And all
money
these
you
damn
making,
totes.
all that money you making, you should be getting good.
No, that's because you flying around, spreading your ass in different states.
Looking crazy, and staying at Airbnbs. Have people thinking it's your place,
and thinking it's your place, messing up their shit.
Right, that too. But yeah, no, I couldn't go to everybody's house, but I didn't understand.
Yeah,
that.
you can. Yeah, you definitely could not do that.
Oh, I get it now, because your house is dirty.
Yeah,
your house straight up dirty. Yeah. And my mother used to be so mad. I'm not feeding the neighborhood. I do not feed the neighborhood. It's like, but it's dinner time. And if you asked us to come eat, and I'm not going to be like, well, sometimes I would be like, oh, gotta go eat. But then sometimes I'll be like, and I guess my mom would see it too and be like, okay. But she's like, I ain't feeding the neighborhood. That's not what but I don't know. It's a different time. But I just, certain things, like I said, even with them going back to the Monique thing, certain parts I get it, because we should always be presentable when we leave the house, because we're a reflection of ourselves. And as my mother would say, or my grandmother would definitely say, you're a reflection of this house. You'd be like,
yeah. But I think hers was a little bit more deeper about the just the mental condition of some of the people. You just get stuck in a rut type of thing, and sometimes it's a sign of depression.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not just the bonnet thing, but
yeah,
you just
like,
take care of yourself.
Yeah,
you don't really care what you're looking like. And sometimes, and because I had listened to a little bit of it, and she was going into detail as far as, you never know what's going on with a person at the time. So and I'm like, that's true.
Yeah, all that is true. And you do, and sometimes you do have to check in. We don't make it a habit to really like check in on people, because
not anymore.
Even still, we always think that those strong people, those strong-willed people, are people that we always call on to get advice from, and they always, always have a good word. We don't check up on them because we seem that they always have it together, and sometimes they may not. We all fall into that valley every once in a blue, I guess. So we all should be checking on each other. You never know who you gonna. No, you don't, Patty Duke. You never know who you gonna meet. You come out there and all saying Tyler Perry be in the store, and you don't think Tyler Perry would ever be in the store, but maybe they shooting a movie, and there you go looking like.
No, if it was a Tyler Perry movie, you see, all you have to do is look at their heads and see what them heads look like.
But he could be doing a movie, and then you could be going in there thinking, oh, let me fix myself and get my role in it. Like there was one time we had every year we do this family reunion at the family church in Virginia in August. It's like a homecoming, and the one particular year, my mom and them stopped here, and I was like, well, I'll ride with y'all. It don't make no sense for me to burn gas if y'all gonna just come this way. Y'all could come this way, pick me up, and I could go. So I did that. I rode with them. My mom had her rollers in her hair because she was, in the car. But then we had stopped at Cracker Barrel to eat, and my sister was just randomly taking pictures because we were just sitting at the table. And I guess she forgot she had rollers in her hair, and she got so mad. And I was like, it's just a picture. And they gotta post it on Facebook. Like, no, nobody's gonna post it on Facebook. We were just taking pictures. We know you don't like Facebook or none of that, so nobody was posting. But she got so mad, wanted up deleting it. Then she went in the bathroom, took her rollers out, and then she's like, now you can take a picture. So it's like it's a very thing that's why I said I didn't really get bent out of shape when Monique said it, because I knew where it was coming from. It was a different era where they did not come out of the house knowingly with like stuff like that on their head or anything like that. It was always, fix yourself. So, That's your mouth. Yeah. But yeah. She was so mad. I'll never forget that. I called my brother like, talk to your mother. What is wrong with her? She is wilding right now. Like, I mean, she was really going on. That's the angriest. My mom's been mad at me a lot. I've never seen her that angry. I was like, it's Rolos. Like, nobody's going to. They want me talking about me.
Because she didn't want to show. Did she have a Facebook account?
No, my mother didn't do all that Facebook stuff.
It
took her forever to email. Like, I was like, Mom, like, get in the habit of doing it. And then she didn't email, she didn't text. She felt like emailing and texting was the devil. Then all of a sudden, when her church members started texting her,
started doing it.
She daily word of the day. I said, oh, now you want to text? Because she would be like, oh, did you call? She always was like, did you call your brother? Did you call your sister? I don't need to call them. We text. We spoke. No, that's not the same. Like, Mom, we text. I don't believe in that texting. But as soon as they start texting, good morning, sister. Oh, God bless. Have a great day. And she texts back, oh, bless
and get the word of the day.
Right. Blessed and highly favored. Then she want to send all this. Here's the word. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Yes, Lord have mercy. Don't give an old religious person and let them every 5 minutes.
What? Every 5 minutes, somebody send her something. She send it back to all of us talking about something. Here you go. Here's a word for you on today. You be like, you can just say hello. Hi. How you doing? Keep it simple. Yeah, she was funny. She was funny. Yeah. I know. I just be like, don't even put me in there. I used to take myself even out of the group thing. My brother, like, you took yourself out of the group text. I sure did, because you ain't gonna keep texting me. She can text you that because you're the one that don't know. I've been going to church with her since I could breathe. You was the one that was able to get away, so you need it. Because every time he go to church, he'd be asking something after church like he's never experienced church. He'd be the one to be like, why they got so many offerings? What's that about? Where all that money go? Why they do this? Why they do that? Why they do this? Why they do? He was always that one, and she'd be so mad, like going back and forth with him. And I'd just be like, why do you even waste your time? Why do you waste?
Yeah, those chain prayer tags.
Yeah,
I hated that too.
I'm like, who does that? Oh, chain prayers. Nobody does that. And then talking about something. And then you got to be threatening folks. Somebody, if you don't send the next 10 people, you ain't gonna be blessed. I wish you would try to tell me I ain't gonna be blessed because I ain't send no damn text to no 10 people.
You know you'll hear about it when you do speak to them.
Right. I say, get out of here. But they be doing that mess. I be like, yeah, bye.
Yeah, once they get hooked onto something.
Yeah.
And they figure out they won't burn in hell for it.
Right. I was like, why did somebody have to tell you that you wasn't gonna burn in hell to send a text? I was like, I've been told you that, but okay. Let Bishop tell you that, and it's all good and grand. Like, okay.
It's been blessed.
Right.
It has the blood on it. This text has the blood on it.
Okay. Gee, I don't need all that bibbity bop stuff y'all got on your phones. Okay. Texted.
Yeah, that and playing the games.
Right. Because at first she used to like when my mom would watch TV, I guess in her kind of I gotta go to sleep to get up for work, but she'd just find something to watch. She used to watch Family Guy when it first came on. And I was like, she's like, right, that's what I was saying. She was like, oh, it's this show, it's a cartoon, it's like The Simpsons, it's real funny. I said, what's the name of it, Mom? She said, Family Guy. I said, you watch that? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I would not peg you for somebody who watched it. I mean, no.
With all of those subliminals in there.
I was like, either they going over your head a bit, or you either not catching it, or you just not even. Because I'm like, Family Guy.
You know what? It was probably like the earlier Bugs Bunny where they started cutting them up and everything.
Yeah,
because they used to be the old ones. You can't even find them anymore.
Yeah, it was the old ones
because they were off the hook
when they first came out. And I was like, you watch that? You know what they be talking about on there? And she was like, no. And then she started. I guess once I told her, she really told her. She was like, oh no, I can't watch that. Oh no, I can't watch that. Mm-mm.
No, man, Family Guys of the world.
Yeah,
right. You definitely don't want to watch that.
Right. All right. Growing up in a Baptist / Pentecostal house, child.
Oh Lord.
Right.
Oof.
Oh Lord is right. If it wasn't my grandmother, with this whole you got to be baptized before you turn 13 or
13.
At the age of 13 was like I'm like, what the hell is gonna happen? Something's supposed to happen. Oh, you better get you. Goodness gracious alive.
Now my grandmother was Baptist. My mother was Seventh-day Adventist.
Oh.
And I and luckily us kids were Lutheran. Lutheran was so. That's because with us the church is right up the street. So she went to the nearest one that she didn't have to get up there and go with us. And my sister taught Sunday school and all the rest of that kind of stuff. But when we turned 14, they allow us to you pick whatever religion, whatever direction you want to go.
Okay.
I got the hell out of the Lutheran church because I heard gospel music, man, and all we sung was hymns. You can't pump up a hymn.
You can't. No,
you can't. Nothing you can do to it. I don't care. You couldn't do no riffs on it. You can't do nothing on the hymn. It was like, I used to hate singing the hymns.
No.
All I wanted to hear was some good music because I heard something that moved me, and I was like, where's that and where can I find it? It's not here. He keeps reading all this stuff out of the book, and I'm totally clueless half the time when I'm awake.
Right. Yeah, that was me as a kid. After a while, because my older cousins didn't go to church, and we used to go to my great grandmother's church, which was right down the street from her house, that my mom actually got married in, and it was a whole history with the church. But when I was younger, I would teach Sunday school sometimes, and then we would be switching shifts. My great grandmother would be coming down the street, and we'd be leaving, going to the house, leaving Sunday school. So we'd be passing her, and sometimes we would stay and go to church with her, and we'd be like, I'd be sitting there Grandma's so deep in the Bible, she's reading it. She's been reading it for hours. My great grandmother would sleep like shit. With the Bible cracked. And the whole time I was reading that Bible and turn the page.
She is so in the Word. Oh my goodness! If only I could be like her.
Right. I used to be like,
and be knocked out.
Knocked out. When I was young, I'd be like, oh, look at Grandma. She's so in the Word. Look at Grandma Seal. She is I want to be like her when I grow up. I was like, I sat by her one time and I was like, she is asleep.
It's gone.
Oh, lucky you. My mother would not let you. I was so mad at my nephew because my mother would let him sleep. And she never let us sleep, ever. I'm like, where is the woman that raised us? She's like, what you mean? Where is she? Because I'm trying to figure out where she went. Because this woman right here is...
Oh, no, you let them slide on the grandkids.
I realized that. I mean, she'd be like, because he's falling asleep.
They can almost burn the house down.
Right. I'd be like, get up. Oh, let him sleep. And so he'd lay on my lap and be all curled up, and I'd be like, You ain't let us do this to you. You'd be like, get up. You should have went to sleep last night. Get up. I'm like, I need to know where's she at, because this woman right here, everything was so. Oh, he's okay. Let him do it. So I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but yeah.
Like I said, grandkids, they let them get away with everything.
Mm-hmm. Grandkids, I don't know about that. You better have the same energy when the grandkids come, the same energy you had as a parent, even though you can return them and give them back.
So that's the best part. You spoil them and make them rotten, and then you send them back home.
Yeah, that used to be the best part. I used to be like, it's like, you want to watch your nephew? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Fill him up on candy and BS, and then send him right. He be bouncing.
Right on. Corrupt them.
What did you give him? Nothing.
Mm-mm.
He just had Cheerios.
No. What I used to love to do is when the babies would come and they just start to verbalize, and I teach them how to say shit. And the most appropriate times to say shit. I say shit. I loved it. Then they run around the house. It's like, I don't know where he got it from. He's just running around here saying shit all the time. It took me a few minutes to figure it out. And I was like, and I say my work is done. I love corrupting them when they're little like that.
That's crazy.
Makes me feel I have a purpose.
Right. Indeed. Yeah. My nephews and nieces are practically all grown now, so it doesn't matter. I have two grown. Yeah, I have two grown nieces.
They grow so fast. Oof.
I have two grown nieces. Third niece is practically about to be grown too. I think she's about to turn 20. And my nephew is like 17. He'll be 17 in August. It's like all them days over. But he still does the little quirky stuff, like the little stuff I used to do to him as a kid. There was a thing called the melon squeezer. I just take his head and squeeze it. And he still remembers that. He was like,
that was torturous, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I let him do it back, but he just didn't have the strength I had. So I was like, But that's just when he was acting up. But he remembered. And I was like, oh, you remember that? I was like, that's crazy.
It was something he passed along. Now
right. Yeah, like you pass it on to your kids because great.
Yes, Lynn, I've taken great pleasure in teaching. Oh man,
that's
godchildren, grandchildren, shit.
Not shit though.
It's so easy when they're that little.
Like say it, shit.
Yeah.
The way they say it is funny. Yeah, the way they say it is funny. Yeah.
No, but when they learn how to use it in the right context,
yeah,
that is great. That is great. It's like, oh, I bit my tongue. Shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, shit. Yeah. Fills my heart with such warmth.
With great joy. With great joy. Great pleasure.
Oh, boy.
Well, all right, guys. It has been an hour and 30 minutes just about. Announcements this week. Yeah, the gentleman's panel will be on Jay Wilson's channel.
Okay, what do you think about the Texas walking out?
The Democrats in Texas walking out?
Look, you threw me all the way over left field. Okay.
I mean, I think that was cool. I mean, it's not gonna stop them from doing the voter registration thing. It just hesitated it. So, I mean, it is what it is. But again, this is why I say that local elections are important. You gotta vote locally. I know everybody gets excited, president thing, and thinks the president's going to change the world. But remember that your local thing is run by your own president, which is your governor.
Is your governor. And he's threatened not to pay them.
Yeah, and he's threatened not to pay them. And so they only make, what is it? Somebody said $600?
Yeah, they're actually part-time. They're actually part-time.
That's great. So they basically have other full-time jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So and you threaten not to pay them because they don't want to vote to get rid of or to abolish laws that help their relatives to vote.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and of course they're going to still be able to enact those laws because they have a supermajority of Republicans. That was just kind of symbolic to stop the process, at least for the moment. But
yeah, but they're pretty much hoping that the White House would weigh in.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing too. The White House would have to weigh in. The White House would have to move. The White House would have to, well, not the White House, but Congress, the Senate would have to get rid of the goddamn filibuster to then enact an overall nationwide, which is I don't understand why they didn't have it in the first place. A nationwide mandate.
You should not allow each state.
Yeah, each state should not be able to dictate how the laws run towards elections. The federal, because it is a federal election, it's federal regardless, whether it's state or whatever, it's still federal. So the federal government should have a law to how all the voting works, and then you just follow suit. If you don't, you will get penalized. Point blank. Period.
That's right.
I just don't understand.
That's the only way you can protect.
Yeah, that's the only way you can protect it. That's why I didn't understand when the Civil Rights Act was passed why that wasn't enacted. Like, because the southern states could still be able to, renege on a lot of the civil rights law. So which they did. So then I understand why wasn't it made law across the board, so that way if you do it, you violate federal law, period.
Yeah, and they really need to stop dragging their feet about doing away with the filibuster.
They really do. I mean,
It's like a game. I feel as though they're playing a game.
They are, because people like Joe Manchin and Philibert, because they are in Republican or Trump, I won't even say Republican, but Trumpian areas, they trying to play nice. And it's like, yo, first of all, if they had power, what would they do to you? Tell you to kiss their ass. So then why are we sitting up here having this discussion? Yep. He just showed you, even in his lack of power, Mitch McConnell just showed you we're not voting on anything Joe Biden has to offer. So we'll just wait this out till midterms. Who's doing that?
Look, Joe needs to jam so much shit up their ass.
Yeah,
while he has the power to do so, because he's going to wait till the last minute and they're going to seize control again. Yeah, and it's going to be it.
Yeah, that's
going to be game plan done.
That's
game plan done.
I mean, you don't understand. That's the same thing that happened in Obama's administration. They tried to block everything that they could, and then nobody showed up to vote for midterms, and
that's right.
So I mean, they just looking for the same thing, and that's why they even understand.
Because even though they may like Joe Biden's some his policies and things that he's doing, it doesn't equate to votes.
No, it don't equate to votes. It equates to, it sounds nice, just like him going down there to Tulsa. It sounds nice, it looks nice, but what are you doing?
No, you know what? I heard a good saying. Voters never vote to say thank you. Voters vote to say fuck you.
Well, yeah, that part is true. That part is true. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why either. I really don't. I really don't even know what the holdup is. I really, because I mean, if Joe Manchin thinks that he's going to be able to hold his seat in West Virginia, even placating to the Trump side, he's sadly mistaken. Unless he flips, that's the only way Joe Manchin is going to save his seat.
Don't bet on that.
He might. He might. I'm thinking he might. We're not going to change the filibuster. I ain't going to make that old lamey ass speech talking about I'm so surprised that Mitch McConnell and the rest of my Republican friends. How? How? I don't see how. They showed you what they were going to do while they were in power, not even letting you even have a bipartisan anything. And now we want to sit here and talk about being bipartisan. For what? If they just already showed you that they were not even entertaining you being bipartisan at all, why would you turn around and then have that same, we need to be one country for what?
If you know that for them to change, they will not change.
No, even if you know if your policies benefit the nation as a whole, not just a section of the nation, but the entire nation, then why not rock with it? Again, because a lot of these Republicans, although they talk all this mantra, whatever they talk, a lot of these people on this Republican ticket are from the slums.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that from the insurrection. Most of them people look like they have a tooth in their mouth since they were born. I mean,
no, they rolled the pickup into town.
Crazy as hell.
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know what rock he been sleeping under. Probably been sleeping under the same rock that Lady G been sleeping under.
Same rock or same cock?
Both. That's why they got a rock hard cock. That thing is a mess. God damn.
Yeah, that's a whole mess.
I can't believe South Carolina did that, Lindsey Graham. God damn.
Yep, with a Confederate flag in the back.
Right. And they really be with it. I just don't get it. Like, why are we even having this discussion? It should be, and that whole Confederate flag shit is, I really don't get that either. That should be illegal.
Yeah, you can't do it anywhere else.
That should be illegal to wave. That should be illegal to put up anywhere. It should only be in a museum somewhere. If you want to go see it, you go see it.
That's where you want. That's right. Because over in Germany, you don't see.
Right. You don't see people walking around publicly with swastikas.
Yeah, and you don't see statues of Hitler.
No, we the only place that we sit here and honor, like, not only losers, but
I'm gonna say the losers, and the traitors.
Right. The looters, the traitors, the losers, the
Then you get pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand any of it. I really don't. They even
had a TV show, Dukes of Hazzard, right around with the thing.
And the car.
Mm-hmm.
The Dixie song when you blow the horn. So it's just like, I don't understand. But that was a good old show.
Yeah.
But we're not a racist country. Look, we had the Dukes of Hazzards. We had
it is what it is.
Nelly.
It's not going to change. It'll get quiet, but I don't think it'll get changed.
What did you
learn
say?
more about Hitler? Yeah, and Anne Frank. Yeah, then what we learned. You absolutely right.
Very true. Right. We learned about a whole relationship when she was 13 years old with the older guy that she had dreams about marrying and being with. Then we know anything about slavery. The only thing you quick to know about slavery is what? Harriet Tubman, Underground Railroad.
Yeah, that's it. Pretty much.
Everybody else was treated so nice and so kind, treated like family.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. That's funny as hell.
It is funny, but very true and factual.
Mm-hmm.
But, what do you say? Took us on a damn field trip. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Where she was hiding in the closet. I've never been to that place. I don't play. Yeah, I've learned more about slavery and by going to these plantations that are here, not only in Maryland but other places, than I've ever learned in school. Because of course, it's wiping or whitewashing over it, like making it to be a Disney movie. Like, oh, they were slavery, but we treated them like family.
And they all sang, and we went to the fish fry.
And they made pancakes. And Aunt your mama made pancakes, and Uncle Ben made the rice, and we loved them so. And
everybody was happy.
Everybody was so happy. It was back in them days, like they were humans and they could not, be free and be themselves. So how happy do you think they were? Oh, but they were so happy they made up songs because you couldn't allow them to read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come
Uncle
on.
Remus. Yeah.
Now, Uncle Remus.
Now, didn't Disney lock that in the vault, right?
Yeah.
You can't even find that song of the South.
Nope. Actually, I did. I think, where did I see it? Was it YouTube or something? Because Prime, it might have been Prime or YouTube, but Prime or YouTube has the old Bugs Bunny cartoons too that have a lot of that.
Where they was whipping slaves.
Africans with like the whole get up and all that kind of stuff. I mean, really big red lips, kind of Sambo type looking characters. Crazy.
Yep, and that is exactly what happens. They wiped it all away.
Act like nothing happened. Well, we didn't do that. But anyway, before I go, I wanted to briefly talk about Mr. Puddin' Pop himself, Bill Cosby. So Bill Cosby was denied.
He's popping some pudding. Or
Somebody's popping his pudding. And that's some age pudding right there. That's some fine wine pudding. But yeah,
I heard they say it's smooth.
Ooh, I bet it is. Popping teeth out. But yeah, he was denied parole because he refused to follow the guidelines of the sex offenders profile. Which, I mean, in a sense, I get it, but in a sense, I don't. It's like you're 80-something years old.
Yeah, this age.
Yeah, like, who you plan to be around? You just gotta.
He lucky he made it through
COVID, right?
Without being in jail.
I would have just signed the papers and keep it moving. But I mean, in a way, I get it. Okay, you want to kind of be defiant, whatever. But you're too old for that at this point. Whatever you done stuck your pudding pop in, you done did it already. Okay.
I hope they did. That's why his ass went blind.
Right.
I didn't even know it. I didn't even know he was going blind.
Oh well, yeah. Well, he was playing it a little bit. That's why he was doing. He had the whole cane thing while he was going to court, and the guy was walking him. That was
to the guy almost. Did he walk him into a wall or something?
No, he was being funny. He was doing that old that shit he used to do in the Cosby Show thing where he'd be like walking and then do this like the jerk back or whatever. That's what he was doing, trying to be funny. But yeah, now it's just like you're just getting up there, brother. You don't need to. I would just sign the damn papers and just let it go, so I can spend my final days in somewhat freedom rather than to be in jail. But
yeah,
I mean, because at the end of the day, you did what you did. I mean, I'm not saying necessarily that you raped the women, but whatever you did, you learned it from somebody. You ain't just think, oh, let me put this Spanish fly in her drink and see what happens. Somebody.
That was the thing at the time.
Exactly. But I'm saying somebody above in that station was like, this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, oh, okay, this is how it's done. And he was just doing exactly what there is no pudding in that pop. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I don't know. I just I mean, I don't even understand why he would have to go before the board of parole because didn't have to go before the board. What's his face? The dude, the ex-lawyer, Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen didn't have to go before a parole board. He just claimed corona and they sent him home. So I really don't even understand, or the fear of corona. Not that he had corona,
but he didn't have. What is Cosby has? What, 3 to 10?
Yeah,
like 3 to 10 years. But Cohen only had like 3, right?
Right, but he was still he still didn't serve his whole 3. He served like 2 and some, like what was it? Almost 2 or 2 and some change, but like not the whole 3. He didn't serve any of that.
Yeah, but I guess it all depends too on the type of crime.
Type of skin crime, I guess.
Yeah, that too.
I'm sick of the love and hate about basketball wise and boot camp basketball wise. I don't watch a lot of them shows.
Yeah, Cosby shows. He had good shows. I like his shows.
Yeah.
I really liked his shows.
He did have a good show.
That in a different world.
Yeah, a different world.
I really liked A Different World.
Yeah,
I really liked that one. That was really good.
Yeah, Different World was definitely a good one. It motivated a lot of young people to go to college. Yep.
He definitely fucked it up.
He sure did.
That's what messed up his legacy. It's like, you wait till you have dead.
Right. You couldn't hold out.
Now just think, if this stuff would have came out after he had passed,
right?
Then everybody would say, "Oh no, he didn't do that." They're just saying this.
Right, they're just saying this after he died. Like when people started coming back up and saying that Michael Jackson did molest them and all that kind of stuff, you're like, well, if he did, why you wait for him to die to be talking about it? You know, it's just crazy.
Who do you think gave him that propofol?
Whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to the doctor?
Doctor?
Yeah.
I guess he lost his license.
He lost his license, but he was supposed to go to jail, but I don't think he did jail.
I think his time was like really short or something.
Yeah. It was like
something ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, it's not like he murdered him, but damn, you giving him that kind of stuff.
He's like, just give me a little more, man. Just give me a little more.
Can you give me some more of the milk? I was like, what? All that goddamn surgery had done.
Like,
you know what? He was the king right before our eyes anyway.
Yeah. That sounds like
his nose was falling apart. Skin, he looked terrible.
It sounds like Game of Thrones, the milk of the puppy. The poison that they would give the people, the milk of the puppy. Somebody gave him the milk of the puppy. He was out of here. Boop, dead. He said, "This is it," and that was it. That's what you say. This is going to be my final tour. This is it. It was it.
Yeah. Everybody's hurting, knees hurting and everything else, all that dancing and shit.
That's crazy. He said his siblings all on him too, except for Tito. Oh, why not Tito? What's wrong with Tito? And poor Jermaine, I think Jermaine was using Gorilla Glue on his head before that girl.
Oh, yeah, he was doing that before. Beijing gone wild.
Yeah, don't move. My hair.
And nobody in your camp tells you look like a fool.
A fool. Nobody. He even had nerve to have somebody put little jiggly waves in it.
Yeah.
Who does that? It's paint. Ain't it paint? It looked all painted on your head. You look crazy. It's going for him. Who didn't have plastic surgery? Oh, Tito? Oh, so he looked like an original Jackson? Is that why?
What is that? All of them had their nose down. They all had that little pixie, pixie nose.
Pixie nose. We gotta look like Michael. Oh no, actually, what? think Latoya was the first one to do it.
I don't know.
I think Latoya was.
I remember at one point he was looking like Diana Ross.
I always thought at one point, all points, he was looking like, except maybe Bad, but other than that, he was looking like. I thought either he was going to look like Elizabeth Taylor or Peter Pan, one or the other. I was like, would he pick one already? Because I don't know.
An old white woman.
Yeah, I think he was going.
That's
for
what every black man wants to be, is a white woman.
And white men want to be white women too.
Hey, white women too. No, they want to be black women. They want to be sassy.
Not Bruce.
That's a whole mess.
That's a whole mess.
A whole mess.
Oh, he had a little trim. Oh, he might have had a little trim. Just a little trim.
They all did. I mean,
they all did, yeah. But I'm like, well, no, not
even their mother.
Did Ruby get her?
Yeah, yeah. Even the mother. I was surprised the mother got hers done. And Joe Jackson did.
Yeah. He wanted to be more like, so y'all would recognize him if he said, he's the father of Michael Jackson and Janet and all of them. You ain't gonna recognize him. He got that big bell pepper nose. You be sitting there something like, no, you're not. You got the original nose. You need to get a Michael nose.
The thing that always got me though is like, well, when you have children and your children will never look like you because you altered your appearance.
Well, so no, I think that's why Michael went and got that white woman that John Mayonnaise to have kids with to try and hope that they still
that he could do it genetically.
Yeah. That they still end
up. He did a family nose trim. Yeah, I know they had a discount. They all went to the same doctor because it all looks the same. It looks like they can't breathe. Actually,
it looks like it's like when you do this,
it's too flat.
And you
walk real fast. The pressure from the wind blowing against it would just push it down. Yeah, that's too much.
You got to take small breaths. You got to sip your air. That's crazy. Sip your air.
Look, Michael couldn't eat any ass because he would suffocate.
Maybe that's why the tip of his nose would probably deteriorate.
Oh, it shaped like it. He'd be all up in there. Get a nose. New meaning to the word nose job, right?
Yeah, that's it. Poor thing. Because his kids don't have that nose, which makes me believe, are they really his kids though?
No. I don't even think they're. He wouldn't take a, what is it? 23andMe.
Yeah.
23andMe. It'd be they're all Caucasian.
Yeah, I think they're all Caucasian too.
Even Blanket or Quilt or whatever. What is his real name anyway? Is he Prince Michael?
No, I thought Prince Michael was the second boy. Yeah, the second child. Because isn't the girl the oldest? Her name is Pierce, I think.
Yeah.
Or Paris or something like that.
And there's no resemblance to anybody.
No, none whatsoever.
But he just proved the fact that with money you can even make up your children.
Just put them in a petri dish. Right.
Just put them in a petri dish and shake them up, stir them up, or whatever.
Right. Could I have this attribute in my kids, but not this? And I don't want the nose. Give them a white nose.
Mm-hmm. Someone had to be high when they could. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
No, he was on the milk. He was half asleep, nodding out.
Oh, he named the milk of the puppy. The milk of the puppy. He named them both Prince. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So what is one Prince and another one's Prince Blanket?
Prince.
All I remember is him holding that baby over that balcony.
Like, yeah, and I was like,
I was like, oh my God.
Like, are you crazy? It's like, man, damn well.
And no CPS came.
They're gonna be eating that shit up. You dangling that baby over there for those people to see.
And no CPS came. What? Prince Blanket. Yeah,
they should have came anyway because they know he wasn't the father.
Right. You are not the father.
There's some strange black white man.
Right.
Got a white baby.
Right. And he wears wigs. Mm-mm. That's crazy. But he had a good funeral, though. They sent him out. It was almost like a black funeral. It was like a little bit of touch of black funeral and whiteness. It was a little bit of
black and whiteness.
It's black. It's white. It's
well, he could have been like James Brown and had a tour. Shit, he
Brown,
toured around for what, 3 months?
James Brown is still above ground. Okay, he's still in the backyard. He is still in the backyard.
And that's it. And Aretha Franklin had 3 or 4 dress changes.
3 or 4 dress changes.
I watched her whole funeral. That was long as hell.
A whole 7-hour funeral. I watched every minute of it. I was like, "Is this a concert? Oh, we doing concerts now with dead bodies just chilling. Okay." We doing concerts. We had the Clark sisters. Yeah, everybody. I said
everybody was there.
All of Detroit and anybody who was famous was there and did a concert. I said, "Oh, we should have the dead body." It just made me think of like Weekend at Bernie's.
just drug them around, just prop them up in the corner, going to the club, just prop her up in the corner.
Pop up in the corner. She's sitting over there like this.
That was a hilarious ass movie. That was funny.
That was funny. It was. Yeah, Michael Ward got his hair caught on fire. Yeah, he did that Pepsi commercial. That's just a.
Yeah, he had that Jerry cool.
Yeah,
Jerry curl juice in
the activated.
Oh yeah, you saw it go up, and that scalp burnt. You know that shit. That shit went up
fast.
Like he would.
All you heard was the noise.
Ignited that shit.
You said what? I wasn't shading Detroit. I was just saying all of Detroit was there. You had the Clark sisters. You had everybody.
Yep. Even Louis,
Smokey
Minister
Robinson.
Farrakhan,
right,
was there.
You had Smokey Robinson there. You had Barry Gordy. He showed up. Everybody was there. That's all I was saying.
It was so long. Aretha was tired. She was like, "Come on,
to a concert, right?" She said, "All right, now put me in my mausoleum, please. Thank you."
Was she all the way at the top in the mausoleum?
Yep, she all the way at the top. She above her father.
Oh, okay. Because you know the mausoleum, it's more pricier down the bottom. The closer to eye level, you pay more money. Yeah, the price is cheaper. The price is cheaper further up.
Well, I think she had the whole wall because her brother. I think her brother
like the whole family is there.
Yeah, her brother and her sister are at the bottom, and then I know her father is in the middle. She's above her father, and I think her mother. I think her mother is still buried in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
I think if they hadn't moved her mother, but I don't think so. Yeah. But you know, you
I always thought it was
a whole wall.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was cheaper up at the top, but it's not. I mean, is this? No, yeah, it is cheaper up at the top.
Yeah, it's cheaper at the top.
It's the top. Yeah, more expensive than
it's cheaper at the top, but it all depends on. Then it depends on too where you place the people. Like if you get the whole wall, you can place everybody where you want to. So
yeah. I used to call them condos. They just remind me of little condominiums.
I was just wondering, like, what happens if the place fall? I was like, just put me in the ground and the little thing. Well, I just be like,
what if dig you up and make apartments?
Yeah, well, I'd rather you do that than the whole place just, earthquake or something come boom, boom, boom. I'm just chilling in pieces. Just, I don't know. She'd be sitting up there chilling with her shoes and her legs crossed.
Yeah.
With her heels popped up. I said, girl, they did a lot. But all right, anyway. It was real fun. You guys, thank you for showing up and hanging out with us yet again.
Yeah, I'm glad you dropped it early. My computer was acting up. I was like, drop the link. Drop the link. I can't be typing all this shit in.
Oh, not a problem. I'll drop it early if you need me to. Yeah, so until next time, America, do your thing, wear your mask, or
So
whatever.
where will you be Where will you be Thursday?
Jay Wilson's.
Okay. What's in the jar?
Wine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's wine this time. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Yeah. So until next time, America. Love, peace, hair grease, and all that good stuff. Love, peace, and as they say, soul. But yeah, be safe. Love you guys. Thank you for popping in. If you happen to pop in later, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you didn't on your way in here, on your way out, please hit that like button. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anything you want to say, Brother Nate, before we head on out of here?
Everyone stay safe. Use common sense.
And moisturize.
And moisturize. And pump.
Yes, please. And no dark holes. Later, you guys.